If you think women want you to talk more, you're already losing. Picture this: the loudest guy in the room, yelling, joking, trying to impress. Why is he always the one going home alone? You've been taught to chase, to explain, to prove yourself. But that's killing your vibe. The real secret? Silence. Not awkward, fidgety silence, but grounded, powerful, tension filled silence. It pulls women in like gravity. Most guys can't handle it. They crack, they overtalk, they fold, but not you. Not after this video. Stick with me because I'm breaking down why silence is your superpower, how it flips the game, and why women can't resist a man who knows when to shut up. Oh, and quick heads up, the visuals here are just for vibe. They're not tied to real people or events. Let's dive in. The scarcity effect. Let's start with something you already know deep down. Scarcity creates value. Think about it. A jacket in a pile at a discount store, nobody cares. But that one jacket in a fancy shop, hanging alone under a spotlight, people lose their minds over it. Why? Because it's rare. It's special. Now, apply that to you. Most guys talk all the time because they're scared of being forgotten. You're on a date and you're throwing out stories, facts, jokes, anything to keep her attention. But here's the truth. The more you talk, the cheaper you seem. Every word you spit out is like putting yourself on clearance. Now, imagine this. You're on a date. She's talking about her day, and instead of jumping in with your own story, you just listen. You nod, you hold eye contact, and you let the silence sit for a beat. Not because you're shy, but because you're choosing it. She notices. She feels it. Why? Because you're not desperate to fill the air. You're not begging for her approval. That's the scarcity effect. When you talk less, your words carry more weight. Silence creates space for her imagination to run wild. She starts wondering, who is this guy? Why is he so calm? What's he thinking? And just like that, you're not chasing her. She's chasing you. Real example, my buddy Jake used to be the king of oversharing. Every date, he'd ramble about his job, his hobbies, his dog. He thought he was building connection, but girls would ghost him. One night I told him, bro, say half as much. Let her talk, let her wonder. Next date, he tried it. He leaned back, listened, and only spoke when it mattered. By the end of the night, she was asking him questions, trying to crack his code. They've been together 6 months now. Silence isn't just quiet, it's magnetic, it's rare. And rare things, they're irresistible. Let's keep it rolling. Silence equals power in social dynamics. Okay, picture a high-stakes room. Maybe it's a boardroom, a poker table, or even a packed club. Who's got the most power? It's never the guy yelling or flapping his gums. It's the one who speaks least, the one who's calm, deliberate, and unbothered. Why? Because silence makes people lean in. Talking too much makes them tune out. In social dynamics, silence is like a cheat code. Most guys think they need to be loud or flashy to stand out, but that's a trap. When you're quiet, not awkward but intentional, you flip the script. People start wondering what you're about. They lean closer, they listen harder. And women, they're wired to notice this stuff. Here's why it works. Women test guys all the time. Not to be mean, but to see what you're made of. They'll throw out a question, a tease, or even a little shade to see if you'll crack. If you rush to explain yourself or fill the silence, you're handing her the win. But if you stay calm, hold eye contact, and let the moment breathe, you pass the test. She's gotta work for your attention now. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at a bar and a girl says, "You don't talk much, do you?" Most guys would panic and start rambling to prove they're not boring. But the silent man, he smirks, says, "Only when it's worth it," and sips his drink. That's it. That one move says, "I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to be me." And that's powerful. It's not about being mysterious for the sake of it. It's about being immovable. The less you explain yourself, the more you signal confidence. You're not begging for approval. You're not chasing validation. You're just there. And that presence, it's catnip for women. Let's level up. The masculine energy shift. Now let's talk about energy. Masculine energy isn't loud or showy. It's calm. It's steady. It's the kind of vibe that says, "I'm good no matter what." And silence, it's the fastest way to radiate that. Chatter screams insecurity. Think about the guy who's always joking, always talking, always performing. He's trying to prove something. Maybe he's funny, but deep down you can feel it. He's scared of being ignored. Now compare that to the guy who's quiet, centered, and unbothered. He's not afraid of being misunderstood. He knows his value. And that confidence, it's electric. Here's a story. Last year, I was at a friend's wedding. There was this one dude, Mike, who barely said a word all night. He wasn't rude or shy. He just didn't need to talk. He'd smile, nod, and hold eye contact like he was reading your soul. By the end of the night, 3 women were circling him, trying to get his attention. Why? Because his silence wasn't empty. It was full of confidence, control, and presence. Silence proves you've got emotional self-control. And that's sexy. When you're not rattled by a pause or a test, you show her you're solid. You're not here to pitch yourself like some used car salesman. You're here to observe, to feel the moment, to let her feel you. And here's the kicker. Women don't fall for words. They fall for feelings. Your silence lets her feel your strength without you saying a single thing. We're not done yet. How noise kills attraction. Let's flip it. Why does talking too much tank your game? Because noise kills tension, and tension is what builds attraction. Think about your habits. You text back instantly. You overshare your life story. You explain every thought in your head. You think you're being open, building connection. But to her, it feels like neediness, like you're trying too hard, and nothing kills attraction faster than that. Here's an example. My friend Sarah told me about a date she went on. The guy was nice, but he wouldn't stop talking. He told her his entire career plan, his childhood, his favorite pizza toppings, everything. By the end, she was exhausted. She said, "I didn't feel any spark. He gave me nothing to wonder about." Compare that to her current boyfriend, who's quieter. On their first date, he listened, asked good questions, and left some things unsaid. She was hooked because he gave her space to feel curious. Silence builds tension. Tension builds desire. If she always knows exactly where she stands, she stops caring. Why? Because there's no challenge, no mystery, no pull. A little mystery isn't manipulation, it's maturity. It's knowing you don't need to lay all your cards on the table to be valued. Try this. Next time you're texting a girl, wait an extra 10 minutes before replying. Not to play games, but to show you've got a life. Or on a date, when she asks you something personal, give a short answer, smile, and let the silence hang for a second. Watch her reaction. That tension, that's the spark you're missing. One more piece to this puzzle. The silent man archetype. Let's talk about the silent man archetype. You know the vibe, think Batman, Jason Bourne, or James Bond. These guys aren't mute, they're intentional. Every word they say feels like a choice, not a reflex, and that's what makes them unforgettable. You don't need to be a superhero to pull this off. It's about energy, not lines. The silent man doesn't chase attention, he attracts it. He doesn't fill the air with fluff, he waits until his words matter. And when he speaks, people listen. Here's how to channel that. Next time you're in a group, don't jump into every conversation. Hang back, observe. When you do speak, make it count. Say something sharp, funny, or real. You'll notice people start turning to you, waiting for your take. Why? Because you're not flooding the room with noise. You're curating your presence. This isn't about saying less for the sake of it. It's about meaning more. Your silence should feel like a loaded gun, ready to fire, but only when the target's clear. That kind of energy doesn't just attract women, it commands respect from everyone. Let's wrap this up. Alright, here's the deal. Talk less, hold more power. Women don't remember what you said, they remember how they felt around you. And silence? It's the fastest way to make her feel your strength, your confidence, your presence. Silence isn't a lack of game, it's the next level of game. It's discipline, it's restraint, it's the storm behind the stillness. That's what draws her in, that's what makes you irresistible. So start now. Next time you're on a date, pause. Let the silence sit, hold eye contact for a beat longer than feels comfortable. Watch what happens, you'll feel the tension build and she'll feel it too. That's the moment you stop chasing and start attracting. If you found this video fire, smash that like button and subscribe for more no BS tips to level up your game. Drop a comment below. Tell me, have you ever tried using silence on a date? How'd it go? I'm reading every single one. Until next time, stay calm, stay powerful, and let your silence do the talking. Peace.